Hey, this is Sam from Vim. So the Explorer report is a report that's both simple and sophisticated. It's a report we'll spend a lot of time on because you'll want to customize it to your own exact needs. And there's a lot of concepts that are playing in this single report here. So let's go through it. The first thing we can see here is that we can isolate per model. So all of your linked files from Revit are going to follow. And furthermore, we can isolate per workset. So this will let us see if there's things in the wrong worksets and so forth. The next thing we'll see here are the categories. So you can isolate, for example, all the ceilings, all the conduits, or any element that you care about and you want to investigate. After that, we have the actual families. So this is maybe helpful, especially if we've already isolated a category. Now we can see every type of family for the doors. And the most important aspect is going to be this matrix here. Let's talk about how a matrix works. So a matrix is going to work with drilling up and drilling down. As we can see, we have the categories here, and they're all counting the number of element keys. So pretty much everything is an element, and they all have a unique number, a key. And so what we're doing here is we're counting how many different keys there are. And so that means if there's 10 doors, there's going to be 10 keys and so forth. So here we see all of the keys being counted. And as we drill up and down, we are navigating through this hierarchy here, which is represented here. So the model, so the BIM document name, the category tag. The category tag is whether it's something that's a group, that's physical, that's a room, or topography. And we'll see that we're also using the category tag to filter out things like annotations, conceptual items, links, symbols, and systems. We don't want to count those things because nobody is building a material that's a conceptual item. The category tag, there's also a slicer here. So this lets us, for example, hide the rooms or show just the groups if there are any. And so here we see a series of groups. After the category tag, we have the category name. After that, we have the family name. The element name is kind of a weird column. It's basically both the family type name, and if it's a room, it's going to give you the name of that room. There's other ways of getting, the type name, like the element type, or if you go into the table that is family type, you can get the family name here. However, it's best to use the element name because once again, that combines both the family name and the room name. So you kind of get a merge of data in that sense. So when we look at the room names here, it's not going to be empty. It's going to give us all of the room names because that's what the element name is. And the last aspect is the Revit ID. So Revit ID is pretty great because you can go in Revit and select those elements if you have them in a list. Okay, so we've already touched upon the slicer here that lets you decide whether you want to show physical items, group items, rooms, or even topography. So the main thing I want you to remember is that you can use the drill up and down, and I wouldn't use the arrows in between. You can use the drill up and down to drill down your properties. You'll notice, for example, if I expand this, I lose the color coding everywhere else. I can either compact it again, or if I get lost, I can always use the drill up arrow to kind of reset the state and the colors will come back. Okay, then finally, what we have is on the right side, we have the parameters. Now, keep in mind, this is going to show you the parameter value for everything that's selected. So usually it kind of makes more sense to go select a single item rather than 100 items. So here we see all of the family information. Here is all the type parameters, and here are all the instance parameters for that element. So basically, the Explorer is a great place to start. It's going to have your quantities. It lets you do some basic filtering. It lets you dig into the parameters of the data. We're going to keep looking at the other Explorer reports that go a bit more in depth with the selection, and then we'll look at how to customize these reports to fit your needs. Talk to you soon. Cheers.